guys, I got another new idea on filming my blooms and spikes at the beginning of each and every month. Before the 10th or so, every month I'm going to film what's in spike and what's in bloom. And at the end of every month, I will film again and make my regular bloom and spike video, the one I always upload at the end of each and every month. We'll make the videos a bit shorter, and yeah, it will be easier to update. I mean, it's going to be easier to show you some new and fresh blooms when they are actually still in bloom, if you see what I mean. So here's the Blc Gisele Bundchen. It's been open for 6 days, about 6-7 days now, since I wanted to show you the strikings on the sepals and petals. Since this one comes out a bit light yellow greenish, with just a slight hint of perhaps there will be some strikings in the future, or perhaps not. So I just wanted to show you her in a very best state. All right, I love the lip, a large frilly lip with golden veinings in the throat, and it's a large size Cattleya, both considering bloom size as well as the size of the plant itself. It's a really huge one. Yeah, I should have staked the pseudobulbs up a little bit earlier than I did, but well, now it's my dog is coming. But now it's a little bit too late for that, so well, I tried to pull them up a bit and tease them up a bit in hope for them to become more straight. But yeah. Anyway, I will try to, wait a bit. My dog is here, in my face. Hey. Oh, jeez. Yeah, and he loves. Let's go look at that. Want to try it? Yeah. He loves to smell the flowers. Well, now at least he's sitting. I was trying to measure the bloom for you. Yeah. As I said, it's a large size Cattleya, but is it really? Well, measure this perhaps here. Yeah, it's about 13.5 perhaps, so it's at the widest place. And here, through the petals, it's really only 11.5, just as the Fuchsia Glory Happy Holiday. So it really looks larger and wider than it is. Yes. But I think she's lovely, and she came out with 2 blooms this time on 2 different canes, so yes. But everything is fading quite rapidly right now in my apartment. Yeah, I think it's far too dry, and it's shifting according to how cold it is outside. So the heating elements are changing a little bit too often for the likings, I believe. Believe it or not, the Tropical Trick, Elsie, Tropical Trick number 4 is still out. Yeah, starting to look a little bit wrinkly now. And some knocks on them, but nevertheless, she's still beautiful. And the amazing Epidendrum Nocturnum, sequential as it is, creates another bud after the other one faded. And I can see that there probably will be some more even coming after that one is gone. And down there, nothing really, but amazing. And I wonder what this huge cane is going to do in the future. It's the best cane it ever produced. So it's becoming quite a large plant, this Epidendrum Nocturnum now. I got it as, probably with this cane and the little one down there, this tall. Maybe 2 years ago, I think. Never mind, but it's a good and a nice discovery, and I I'm glad to finally acquire a bit of new knowledge about this one. So thank you all for commenting about this guy and giving me a little bit more information than I had from the start. Thank you. And the Phalaenopsis minimark from my Wichmann, my only and first Wichmann order from the spring of 2021, is performing finally. It's so funny with Phalaenopsis. Yes, when you thought they would die on you, all of a sudden they come into growth again with green root tips, and the whole plant rises and starts to create some spikes. This plant came in 2 separate parts put together. So it's the worst part, the part that's doing worse, the patches on the leaf, which is performing. So yeah. And the root system on this one is amazing. Really, really amazing. So yeah, if one piece dies, the other one may make it. So it's not a bad idea to put 2 separate divisions together. Really. So finally, instead of dying on me, it created spikes and started to grow. Yeah. That's a funny, funny cycle, isn't it? And Oncidium Naevium from Karge. It came out with 3 spikes all of a sudden, squeezed into this leaf. I thought it was only a new leaf, new growth, but it wasn't. Turned out to be a little spike inside of it, really strange, but anyway, it blasted. There was only 1 bud, so it didn't make much of a difference, but it still had 2 other spikes. But, well, dry as it is in here, only 1 of the spikes managed to develop and create actual blooms. As you can see, it's a little bit dried out to the top there. I don't know if that one is going to develop into something or anything at all. No, it's dead. But this little one is doing something good, at least. And this one is open now, today. Isn't she amazing? Lovely color combination. Well, it's quite a simple one, actually. I mean, 3 different colors to it, but yeah, it's just a curliness and a frilliness to the petals, and the whole shape of the bloom is, well, I happen to love it. Vinyl color spots, and I believe that my camera is showing the colors a little bit more orangey-ish, but it's a striking yellow, really. And new growth down there, friendly to the side. And sitting in bark, perlite, and mixed up with a bit of rockwool. And some rockwool to the top, to the surface, since she was creating a few new green root tips. Yeah, which, well, really didn't want to go down into the media, so I'm helping it a bit, not to become far too dry. And here's another little new growth. So this one is going to be quite, not wide, but wider at least than it is. So it's going to be a good plant in the future. And I'm really, really happy that I got another one, the second one. Look at my first one. The one which arrived with a spike 1.5 years ago, yeah. I don't remember. But it's a poor thing. And she's in semi-hydro. And I don't think that was the best of ideas for this kind of orchid, but, well, at least not in my conditions. So her new growth is not developing nicely. It's taller, but her leaves, look at them. Not so great. Yeah, and everything's just dying. Everything new is just turning a little bit brownish to the edges, and yeah. No, not a good idea, but I see no meaning in converting it back, but perhaps maybe into bark mixture, the same kind of mixture as the other one has got. I'm not sure yet. I have to decide. Yay. The Oncidium Tiny Twinkle Yellow, which turned out to be white. yeah, I'm not bothered by it. That turned out to be white. This is a really, really, really good plant. This blooming is, yeah, it's remarkable. It's a great, great blooming all over. Let's see here. Well, yes, all over the place. Look, to every direction. And its blooms are whiter than one that's called white. That one had a little bit more yellow to the center. This one's yellow center is a little bit lighter. It's to my liking, really. And as I said, I'm planning on putting these two guys together. This one is overbloomed now, and it's a little bit poorer plant. Whoa, perhaps not film directly inside the fogger. Well, anyway, it's overbloomed, and she's a bit, yeah, it's not as good of a plant as the other one is, but yeah, after that, the other one has finished its blooming, I will put them together in a community pot. Yes. And back here, yeah, you're gonna be amazed, guys. Epidendrum Stamfordianum. This giant plant. What did I see when I watered him earlier today? Yet another spike to the backside, behind the other leaf there, so I can see it. And look. The spike's really funny to watch, to look at. Coming down from the base of the newest cane, of course. Looks like new growth to me. I mean, it took a while before I could determine for the first time whether if it was a blooming spike or a new growth. But this blooming is gonna be spectacular. Something out of this world. So, we really got some blooming to look forward to, guys. Next month, perhaps. And as I looked, this little stubborn Cattleya orchid, no ID, orangey, and I think it was a red center. Oh, yeah. I got a picture of it hidden somewhere in my computer on a hard drive somewhere. I'm not sure. I have to look it up. Only one picture. But the blooms were okay. Really nice. But I've been waiting for this one for 2 years now to create some buds again. Yeah, she was kind of weak, especially after having been transitioned into semi-hydro. And yeah, even repotted. I mean, she was a really finicky one. So this is a good progress on this guy. Or this gal. So perhaps there are a few other buds to the backside. I need to increase the space between my orchids here. Yeah, that's a fact. So I can see what I'm dealing with properly. Yes. One day I will miss a blooming on an orchid. If I don't see it. If I don't see the buds. Yes. And yeah. The LC Magic Treat New Trick from Lucke. She did bloom last summer, I think. But yeah, after that she bloomed from that little thingy down there. And after that she created this large cane with a sheath directly. And there is something inside it. Can you see to the bottom of the sheath? A little blackening. But it didn't develop. She had to create another one, yet another one, here. And that one is really containing something all the way up here. So, we're going to see some blooms. Some yellow and orangey-ish blooms with some strikings. Perhaps this guy is going to develop a bit simultaneously. Yeah, and if not, it really doesn't matter. It's a lovely orchid. Really. Bulbophyllum Falcatum. Yeah, better be real quick this time. since the spikes this time, the season, are shorter. Yeah, 1/3 of the size they ought to be. Yes, you can see, quite short. And first spike, already faded. I didn't even have time to film it. One day it was there, fully opened, and the other day it's faded. So, and a little spiky to the middle, open up today. So I figured it was just, yeah, at the very last minute now to film them. But I find them quite interesting, and the plant itself, I don't remember what it's sitting in, but perhaps bark and rockwool, maybe some coconut husk fiber, yeah, some mixture, and moisture retaining media for it. And a lot of its roots are aerial, so I need to spray this one a little bit more often than I remember to do so. But yeah, overall it's a large plant, it's a good plant. It just bloomed a lot last year, and it blooms twice a year, so I bet this gal needs a little bit of a rest. Now the beautiful Paphiopedilum Maudiae is fully open. Can we find a sepal more beautiful than this one in its simplicity? But I guess it's just because that I love green orchid blooms. And the plant itself is really healthy. It was quite small when I got it. Got her in bud, I think. Not so long ago. About 1 year ago now. Almost. I must say that my Paphiopedilums are doing so well here. As you can see, I needed 2 stories. So I put a bench on the bench. Yeah. And I'm still using the movable trays to pull them around a bit. Like this, so they can get the better light one day, and the other day some other will get the better light. Twist and turn it around, and it also saves a bit of space since I can move it as far out to the right over the edge as possible, so the space is now larger, even. I wonder if it's because of the roof fan, air circulation, and the light, grow LED bulb. I'm not sure, but they really seem to enjoy this spot in my apartment, so yeah, this is where they are gonna stay. And the Delenati, Paphiopedilum Delenati, is soon about to open, and yeah, it's showing signs of becoming sequential. And look at this healthy plant. I'm so happy I picked the right one, that I switched in the very last minute. I was about to pick the overbloomed one with the new fan coming, but this one is a much better plant. And the spike on my Schilleriana, Phalaenopsis Schilleriana, not a leaved one. Yeah, it's not so bad. My previous video said it was a little bit poorer spike than it usually creates. But really, guys, it is branching at first, and it branched out twice even, and yeah, this one I was so sad and disappointed when I saw, no, this one is only going to produce cakeys. But what's so wrong with cakeys? It would be really nice to have a cake from this gorgeous species, Phalaenopsis Schilleriana. So now I'm hoping even more for this little thingy to develop and for the buds. So, but why am I showing you this one? I cannot even... yeah, it's growing tremendously well. I cannot even get the tag out. Phalaenopsis stratiana. No, I want to get it out. Yeah. Phalaenopsis stratiana Sogo. Yeah. Growing so well right now. Just as its cousin. They are so similar. The only difference is that this guy's blooms comes out white instead of pink. Look. I don't think this one is a root. But maybe. The little nubbing to the right. But it wouldn't surprise me. It's large enough now for it. And it's been 6 months. It had about 12 months to blooming size. But sometimes even the nursery can be wrong to the customer's benefit. So to speak. Yay. You know, all know what I mean. Yay. Anyway, in a really good state. Exceptional root system. This one is growing in, as you can see, perlite and sphagnum moss. And the large Schilleriana has also got a huge, really good root system. Growing points everywhere. Growing root tips. I'm only waiting for a new leaf. As usual with this guy. Phalaenopsis joy fairytale peloric is developing a good spike. Well, quite a good spike for being this gal. She usually produces about 3 to 4 blooms on every spike. But at a previous bloom, she proved that she can be sequential as well. So a lot of different inheritance in this one. Down at the gene bank. So you never know what this gal's behavior is going to be nowadays. She's now a real good plant. Yeah, sadly, some markings and stuff again, virus, whatever, to one of her leaves, but now she's coming out clean on the last couple of leaves. So, man, is this one slow or what? Yeah. The spike to the middle, the Pholidota Chinensis, Sologeny type one, strying out her bottom buds. Yeah. But maybe there will be a couple of buds on this spike anyway. But we got a few other. I placed this one a little further away from the light and from the dry air. So perhaps it looks like these guys, these 2 buds, are gonna make it. Yes. So let's see next month perhaps, or perhaps she's gonna be fast. We shall see. And the Oncidium Tiny Twinkle Anna is now overbloomed, but as a sequential type of orchid she is. Now we can only see buds. That's all we can see now. All of the blooms and all of the dried out ones, spikes, has faded and dropped to the floor. I didn't clean this one up. It simply just dropped all of its waste down to the floor, as I said, and kept the new buds, which are about to open in a few weeks. Really nice, this one, Anna. Gorgeous color. Psychopsis Mariposa 3-lip. Working on bud number 3. Yes, since I got it in bud. And ever since it bloomed. Yeah, now twice. And I showed you this one before, but it's a good shaped one. It's growing really well. Not so much light required. And it's sitting in some kind of fake semi-hydroponics. Yeah, you can see the roots coming down there. This one is doing better than any of the, well, the 2 I had before. So, the roots always seems to be the problem with my Psychopsis orchids in the past. But not anymore, since I discovered semi-hydroponics. soft semi-hydroponic repotting, which means that I kept the sphagnum moss, most part of sphagnum moss, yeah. And just put a little bit of Lucke beads around it. And behind, you can see this bloom-filling orchid, Paphiopedilum Pinocchio. I think it's bloom number 9 since I got it 6 months ago, I believe. And button number 10. Yes. This Paphiopedilum hybrid, which I got at my previous Orchid Society meeting. Not the Christmas meeting, but the one in November. Yeah. So it's been in bloom for a while now. Yeah. Doesn't show any signs of fading. So it will be out for a bit longer. And what do we see, guys? On the Tolumnia Scandens, my recent purchase from Schwerter. This species, strangely shaped, a little bit differently shaped than regular Tolumnias down there. Well, I'm not going to show you the shape of it and talk about the shape, even though that's quite spectacular and interesting as well. Can you see the spike? Yes, it really is a spike here. And maybe, no, it's a leaf, but this must be a spike. So, I'm happy. Tolumnia Scandens blooms before long. So, thank you all guys so much for watching, and see you perhaps in my next video, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.